I'm sick of our footballing culture being ripped away from us for the sake of another pound note or another dollar. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I hope you're the same. This video is being brought to you with thanks to our friends at Surfshark. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to not only browse the internet entirely anonymously, but also very securely. Surfshark will secure your data with industry-leading measures using uncrackable encryption and the most secure VPN protocols. One subscription with Surfshark will work across all of your devices. I use it for unlocking things like American Netflix. We also use it if we want to watch our Canadian DAZN account and a couple of other bits and pieces. The good news is you can get 83% off. That's right, I did say 83% off. And an additional 3 months free using the Anfield Agenda link in the description. They've also got a really credible and unique 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like Surfshark, it doesn't meet your needs, which I'm going to be honest with you, it will and you won't. But if you do, if you want to change, Surfshark give you 30 days to change your mind. Why not give Surfshark a try? You'll be supporting us here at Anfield Agenda and you'll be treating yourself to the best VPN provider out there, bar none. What's up guys, I am Craig and you're very welcome along to tonight's video. It's a subject that's quite dear to my heart, something that really winds me up, so I'm hoping you guys feel the same, but maybe you don't, so let me know in the comment section, drop a like on the video and of course hit that subscribe button. As you can see, top corner, we're inching there bit by bit. We're less than 100 away now from 150,000 subscribers. Your help does mean the world to us in our journey. Right, look, I'm not going to waste any time. I thought I was done until after the international break. I didn't think I'd be uploading a video today. In fact, I think I mentioned as much yesterday. But I was flicking through articles today and I opened up the Athletic app and I started reading through an article and it started to wind me up. So what is it about? Why is it winding me up? And why do I hope that you guys feel the same? Let's go through it and see what we think. So the article, one of the headings on it was clubs keen to explore Champions League games outside of Europe. I think you know where I'm going with this one already. The Paris Saint-Germain president Nasser Al-Khelaifi, who also chairs the European Clubs Association and is a member of UEFA's executive committee, is among those supportive of such discussions, with leading club executives open to fixtures taking place in major markets such as the US, China or the Middle East. Now, I'm sick of our footballing culture being ripped away from us for the sake of another pound note or another dollar. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I hope you're the same. So I understand that there is, to a certain extent, there is pressure on everybody to keep growing the game of football worldwide and to look at new emerging markets. But it's trying to find that balance between ripping the game away from its cultural home, in this case, the European Champions League. It is based in Europe. It is a European competition. And I really don't like the idea of games being sent around the world, you know, as in this piece here, China is one, the Middle East, the US, whoever. It doesn't really matter to me. Is once you remove the games outside of Europe and outside of the home teams and the away teams for each game, you're absolutely ripping the heart and soul out of the game, as far as I'm concerned. And for what? Will this benefit the fans of the game in any way, shape or form? No, it won't. It may benefit new fans in emerging markets, and I get that the game has to be grown, but surely to God we need to just nip this in the bud now and call a spade, as Paddy would say, because this is just more capitalism coming into football and ripping the soul out of it for us, the fans who have grown up watching the sport in a certain way. Why can't you just leave the sport alone? Why is there always needs to make it better or to change something or implement something new? If it's technology, fair enough, we can understand that. Goal line technology has been a brilliant addition to football, but this is about one thing and one thing only. It's about making money. Not money for you or I, or not in the interest of supporters who have helped to put these clubs in the position that they're in. It is about getting money from as many corners of the world or as many parts of the world far flung as possible at the expense of those for fans. And how this will be done, as always, will be to pit one set of fans against another set of fans, and there will be a narrative put out by UEFA that will be something along the lines of it's for the good of the game and to continue to grow the sport and to make the Champions League competitive financially. All the stuff that you and I don't really care about. What we care about is when we see a Champions League draw and Liverpool or Manchester United or Manchester City or whomever is in it, that your club has your home games, your away games, and then the pathway through, hopefully, to the knockout stages. Spain have kind of been flirting with this a little bit. The Spanish Super Cup has been moved abroad in recent years, and it's kicked up a bit of a fuss in Spain, but I don't like this narrative that's been pushed. And look, on Mr. Al Khalifi, he played a blinder here. I've got to be honest with you. If you remember when the Super League stuff kicked off, there was clubs like Liverpool that were involved in it. There was clubs like Manchester United, Arsenal. Then you've got the likes of the clubs in Spain. But who wasn't? Who wasn't? Who played a good little boy for UEFA and wormed his way onto these committees? Yes, it is the president of Paris Saint-Germain. And then you can see why. Because he now has a seat at the top table. He now has a powerful voice because he chairs some of these committees. And this is where we start to see the greed coming into the game once again. So don't believe when people say that this is for the betterment of the sport. It's not. It's for the betterment of those at the very top of the sport. Those who are already making obscene amounts of money from you and I and other fans. And look, no problem. We've already had to put up with games being put on at specific times to suit specific markets. We've understood that, even though a lot of us hate, as an example, the 12:30 Saturday PM kickoff. Don't like it, never have, never will. Don't mind the other ones, but this is the last straw for me. You now want to start taking Champions League games out of Europe and putting them in other parts of the world at a time where fixtures are already far too congested. So if we even push the fans aside for a minute and just look at the players' perspective, do you think that Jurgen Klopp or Erik ten Hag or Pep Guardiola or whoever wants to pick up their side in the middle of a really busy fixture congestion and take them on a 10-hour flight somewhere and then a 10-hour flight back when they have a game on a Wednesday and then a game coming up on a Saturday, or the game on a Tuesday and a game on a Saturday? No, of course they don't. We often see at times, like for our Champions League group from a Liverpool perspective this year, the relief at the fact that there isn't much travelling involved. And that's before you even think about the travelling away fans who already have built up all these credits and spent their time getting into a position, sometimes at tremendous financial hardship, to make sure that they can keep going to watch their club. And this is just another, they'll tell you it's to help the club grow in other markets. They'll tell you it's to give new supporters or supporters in these far-flung places an opportunity to see their teams. And I understand that, but there are better ways to go about that. Pre-season, as an example, something could be done there like they've tried to do before, where they have the competitions and stuff like that. I don't agree with the idea of taking the European Cup out of Europe and moving some of the games around the world. I don't like it. It doesn't fit right. And it's only for one thing: money, money, money. When is it going to be enough? When is there going to be enough money for these clubs and these people running them? Because we've already had that they've tried the Super League idea because they didn't like the idea of sporting merit. They don't like the idea of relegation and stuff. And I'm not labelling this at any one set of owners because, quite frankly, most of them are as bad as each other. So whether you've got a gripe with the Glazers, with FSG, with the Cronkies, with Barcelona's president, with your man at Real Madrid, Florentino Perez, it doesn't really matter, because all they want to do is just continue to grow their brands, to feed their shareholders, to increase the value, the commercial values, the media values, all of this, but to the detriment of the sport. You're ripping the soul out of football for the sake of more money. Everybody is quite content with the European Cup how it is, you know. It's beautiful that you get going away days and you visit certain cities if you're lucky enough to have tickets. And I know some Liverpool fans who've been to beautiful parts of Europe. But the thing is here, it is the European Cup. We have a World Cup. We have a Club World Cup. We're going to have an increased Club World Cup in the future. Stop trying to globalise everything. Just leave it alone. Football doesn't need to be poked at and changed all the time. That's my take on this anyway, and I'd love to know your thoughts on it, because I am aware that there will be people watching the video who may be in the Middle East, or who may be in America, or who may be in other parts of the world where it is really difficult to get to see your football club. But that's kind of what you signed up for as well when you started to support. Like, for instance, I like the NFL, and I think it's interesting that there are some NFL games in London. But I'm sure that there are some hardcore NFL fans who are missing out on their team's fixture at home or travelling away day, who are a little bit irked at the idea of it. But football's far more of a global game. So the NFL's a little bit different in that it is just based in America, and they have the few games over in London or in Munich or wherever they have them. But they don't have other iterations of the competition. So we have a World Cup, we have a European Cup, we have a South American Championship, we have Copa Libertadores, we have all these competitions that are around the world already, and this is just greed. It's just greed in my eyes, and I'm sick of it, and I'm fed up of fans being absolutely ripped off once again for the sake of a pound note. And one of the things that caught my eye in this article was, in March, Al Khalifi said that they'd seen an amazing 39% increase in the forecasted commercial value of the men's UEFA club competition for the post-2024 cycle. The first 3 markets that have gone to tender have produced significant revenue growth, an increase of 20% in the UK, 25% in France, and 150% in the US, excluding Spanish language rights, which are still to be sold. None of that sounds like they give a shit about you, they give a shit about the players, or that they care about Jurgen Klopp, or that they care about the coaches, or that they care about the local industries that survive on match days. No, they care about just growing the underlying value of the competition in the game and selling off more rights. It's to the detriment of fans, and enough is enough. I'd love to know your thoughts on it in the comment section. Do drop a like on the video. And this probably will be my last video till I'm back after the international break, because I'm away from Wednesday on holidays for a week. Thank you for your time as always. Do drop a like. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.